Welcome to my YouTube channel and to my train room. If you've been following along recently, you will know that my town of Centreville is nearing completion. Although there are a few areas that still need detailing, there are only two major structures missing. Today I'm going to start working on one of those, and it's going to be a first for me because I don't recall ever having built up a structure as the manufacturer intended. So let me get the camera turned around to the workbench and I'll show you what I have to build. This is the Walthers city station. I'm going to use that as my passenger depot in Centreville. I suppose I could call this an unboxing, although technically I've already opened the box and had a look inside. But let's ignore that and do the unboxing anyway. So, ripping off plastic, you'll have to pretend. Opening box. And this is what we have inside. There's 4 pages of instructions and a big bag of parts. Also in the box is a piece of cardboard with some town names on it. The outside of the box did say that it includes decals for 17 different cities. This is not a decal sheet, it's a piece of cardboard. So right away that's false advertising. Anyway, all the various annexes have the roofs pre-formed in single pieces. There's a whole load of brick details, chimneys and the bay window. There's some probably concrete coloured parts. There's 1, 2 sprues of doors and windows and awning brackets. I've already been pulling these parts off the sprues because I needed to test the site just to make sure that it would actually fit. And it nearly fits. So I need to make some adjustments to the layout. And then we have all the brick parts. This is a brick platform. Here's the main roofs. And some walls. Doesn't look like all the walls are here. It really does look like there's at least 1 sprue missing. Where could it be? I'm going to look into this and I'll be right back. Okay, I think I've solved the problem. There's not very many wall sections cast in the red brick colour, but there's some more here that are, I guess, wooden walls, and I think that might make it enough. So at least for the time being I am going to give Walthers the benefit of the doubt and assume that it is complete. So anyway, I'm going to get set up and I will check in with you again later. Don't go away. Well, I've gone through the directions very carefully and there is not a single word in here about painting. What is interesting is that the very first step they recommend doing is attaching all the glazing to the relevant wall and window sections. So clearly they have no idea how to paint it. Most of the sub-assemblies require different colour parts right off the bat. And many of the parts here need to be painted both sides, some need to be painted only one side so they can be glued on. So even though I plan on building this according to the picture on the box, this is probably going to take longer than my average scratch build. I'm wondering if I should just assemble everything first and then mask? I don't know. I'm going to have to think about that. So when I've thought about it and made a decision, I'll check in with you again. So don't go away. I decided to paint everything first. So I took everything outside, spray painted all the white parts and the brick parts. I used a different colour. I used like a brown instead of a red oxide for the brick base because they're a completely different size brick. So I figured I might as well paint them a different colour as well. Now I'm just filling in the mortar with a very thin wash of light grey. It may look white on camera, but it's actually apple barrel granite grey. It's a colour I use quite a lot of. This wash may look really severe now, but it dries a lot more subtle. Well, here we are back at the workbench. I'm still not quite sure what order I'm going to assemble it in. The order given in the directions really doesn't work. I am not going to put the glazing in until the very end, or at least until as late in the process as I can. I'm not sure whether I'm going to build up wall sections on the base or if I am going to go with sub-assemblies. Well, I spent most of the afternoon building up sub-assemblies. One thing I haven't done yet is attach the curbs around the edge of the platform. I was going to leave those off until the end, but now I think I'm just going to put them on anyway. For the most part, it went together fairly easily. There was one area of the kit that I felt was really poorly designed. The sprue that contained all the concrete trim parts, without exception, every piece had most of the tabs attached on surfaces that were going to be visible and therefore had to be painted. So I had to remove everything from the sprue and then paint it individually instead of just spraying the whole lot. So that's one area that Walthers definitely could have improved the kit. Anyway, I'm now going to attach all these curbs and I'll be right back. Well, I've got all the curbs attached. This is another area of the kit that I don't think was designed very well. They don't meet up in the corners very well at all, although I'm not too worried about that because it's going to be mostly buried in the pavement anyway. Also on this side I had to add a piece of 60 thou styrene because there was a great big gap. So that would imply that this base is actually not square. Anyway, it's all attached and I guess it's time to start adding wall assemblies. I'm not quite sure what order I'm going to set everything up in. I think I need to turn this base around because I've got a lump there. It's not going to sit flat. So let me get my workbench reorganised and I'll be right back. I've just been back and touched up the mortar joints on a few of these wall sections. I've got the curb in. I think I am now ready to put the walls up. I think I'm going to start at the baggage room end and just work my way down. So here we go. Well, that's about all we've got time for today. Thanks for watching. I hope to see you again next week, and bye for now.